If you want the same kind of agent workflow on your own machine, check out conductor.com. Conductor works with the coding agents already in your current setup. It runs fully local, and I'll also show the open source repo and native coding agent screenshots later in this video. Claude just posted one of its strongest product demos yet, and the most important part is not the model. It is the workflow. The clip shows Claude reaching your desktop from your phone, taking tasks remotely, using your apps and files on your actual computer, and sending the finished result back to you. That is a much bigger shift than it sounds. Because once an AI can sit in one continuous task thread, accept requests from your phone, spin up Cowork, use desktop apps, touch local files, and report back asynchronously, you are no longer just chatting with a model. You are starting to delegate real work into a live execution environment. And that is exactly why this demo matters. A lot of AI products still live in one surface. One chat tab, one IDE panel, one web app. That means the minute you step away from that surface, the workflow breaks. The agent might be smart, but the work is still trapped in the interface. What people actually want is different. They want to ask for something from wherever they are, let the system use the files, tools, and apps that already exist on their machine, and get the result back without babysitting the whole process. That is the real promise in this Claude demo. Not just more intelligence, more reach, more continuity, more delegated execution. Office work, coding work, and desktop automation all collapse into the same thread. And if that works well, it changes the product category from assistant you open to operator you assign. Let's walk through the actual clip. It opens with the line, "Reach your desktop from your pocket," and it is explicitly marked as a research preview. So right away, Anthropic is telling you two things. First, this is about remote access into your existing computer workflow. Second, it is still early enough that they want users to treat it carefully. Then the first example shows exactly why this is useful. The message says, "I'm running late to an appointment. Can you export my pitch deck as a PDF and attach it to my 2 p.m. invite?" Claude replies that it is pulling up the deck now. That is a real task with real consequences. Find the deck, export it, attach it, and do it on the user's machine. The second example moves into dev work. The user says, "Start the dev server, screenshot the library page, and send it to me before the demo at 3 p.m. Claude responds that it is starting a code task to run the dev server and grab the screenshot. Then we see a follow-up that the app is running and the library page was found. So now the story is not just desktop productivity. It includes coding workflows too. Then the third example pushes into local app automation. The user asks Claude to batch process all the shop photos on the desktop, size them as 1200 pixel PNGs, and add a white logo in the bottom right corner. The clip cuts into a desktop app and then back to the task thread, where Claude reports that 133 photos were added to a new folder and processed. That is the strongest proof in the demo. Claude is not just reading a file. It is completing a real file-heavy workflow across the desktop. So the evidence in the clip is pretty clear. Claude is being positioned as a remote operator for your actual machine, not just a better text bot. Now here is the grounded version. Anthropic's support docs on Cowork say you can assign tasks to Claude from your phone or desktop through one continuous conversation. Claude runs on your computer with access to local files, connectors, plugins, and apps through computer use and messages you the result when it is done. That lines up very closely with what the clip shows. The computer use docs go even further. Anthropic explicitly says Claude can click, type, open apps, work in the browser, open files, and run dev tools. But they also emphasize that this happens outside the usual virtual machine sandbox and interacts with your real desktop, which is why the feature is framed as a research preview with app-level permissions and clear safety warnings. And on the Claude Code desktop side, Anthropic already documents computer use, scheduled tasks, cloud and local environments, and a broader desktop workflow. So this post is not a random flashy concept video. It is part of a larger product direction that combines Cowork, Claude Code, computer use, and asynchronous task completion. This is where the product story gets more interesting than the demo examples themselves. Most AI launches still compete on model quality, smarter answers, better reasoning, faster outputs. But the real moat may come from execution environments. Can the system touch files, apps, connectors, code tasks, and local context? Can it keep working when you walk away? Can it meet you from your phone and still act on your desktop? That is what makes this Claude demo important. It is not just saying, look how smart Claude is. It is saying, look how much more reachable your working environment becomes when Claude sits in the middle of it. And if that continues to improve, the value compounds fast. The agent does not need to live inside one app. It becomes the layer that coordinates across your existing stack. Zooming out, this is exactly why orchestration matters so much. The future is not one magic tab. It is systems that can hold context, move across tools, use the right execution surface, and finish work asynchronously. That is also why I keep bringing up ConductorOSS.com and the Conductor OSS repo at github.com/tyrannyk06/conductor-oss. I'll show the repo, the native coding agent launch screens, and the current local setup on screen here. Conductor works with the coding agents already in your setup, and it runs fully local. Claude is showing the remote-first and cloud-linked version of this future. Conductor is the local-first orchestration angle. Different product posture, same underlying direction. The winners are the systems that can carry work across surfaces instead of forcing you to restart from scratch in every app. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe. And if you want an agent setup that works with all your current coding agents and runs fully local, go to ConductorOSS.com and check the open-source Conductor repo. The next big shift is not just better answers. It is agents that can actually reach the places where work lives.